Swung on and missed. And down on strikes goes Alex Pettibone, the first victim of a strikeout by the lefty Ainsworth. And now coming up to the plate, Dominic Nickerson, who will bat second. Geoff, will bat third. Jake Long in the cleanup spot for the Knights. Kavan Escobar-Umayam will be the fifth hitter. Andrew Pitts will bat sixth. Jordan Betancourt will be the DH and bat seventh. Josh Tremaine will be in the eighth spot, and Tyler Becker will round things off at the bottom of the lineup for the Knights. We'll get you around the infield and outfield for the Jackson Timberwolves. Of course, the battery mate of Ainsworth is Keel, Atwood, Avalos, Anderson, and Cheeseman around the horn on the infield. Foster, Hampson, and Neville around the outfield there. There's a foul ball. Will just catch the bounce of the right field, the left field line and out of play. Of course, we're high atop the bleachers here in left center field and completely opposite. I got to get my left and rights correct here. It might be a little bit difficult. Here comes a swing and through the hole. It's gabbled up there. No, off the heel of the glove by the shortstop Avalos, and that will be a single off the bat of Nickerson, and the man on now for the Knights. Nice piece of hitting.
You're going to give him a hit for that.
Well, it was deep in the hole. He had to backhand it, so yeah, I'm going to give him a hit.
All right.
And that will bring up Lee. I'm going to say Jeff?
I'm going with Jeff.
We'll go with Lee Jeff. The Kamiak Knight will play shortstop. And takes a bit of an off-speed pitch outside for ball one. And Jeffrey Lee, we actually got it backwards. Lee is his last name. Jeffrey, or Jeff, is his first name.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. It is.
That makes it easy. You don't have to pronounce it all day incorrectly. There's a swing and in and over the top of the left field, or into the left field, over the top of the third baseman, and back-to-back singles, first by Nickerson and then by Lee. And a little something going now with only one out here in the top of the first inning.
A good start here for Kamiak.
Lee just took the pitch he was given, got a high fastball, a bit in on his hands, and he just turned it and drilled it over the head of Atwood, the third baseman for the Jackson Timberwolves. And now Ainsworth is going to have to come to. There's a low pitch outside to Jake Long, the cleanup man. Long does the catching for the Knights. And now looks in at a 1-0 count outside again. Ainsworth taking a little bit of extra time to check the runners. He's got Nickerson on at second base, Lee on at first. And now we'll get the signs from his catcher, Keel. Here's the pitch. That one low also, and then quickly in the hole, 3 straight pitches, all balls. And the last thing you want to do in the top of the first inning is walk them loaded.
Yep.
Here comes the 0-3. Got one there. The 3-0, and there is the first strike. Pulled a little bit off that, I think, in order to try to get it over the mound, over the plate. And Ainsworth now will take a pitch, and it is into the gap. That should score a run. Quickly up on it is Foster.
Nope.
And they will hold everybody. That was in shallow ground there in left field. Foster was quick up on it as it got into the gap between Atwood and Avalos. And now 3 straight singles. And they're juiced for Escobar-Umayam, the first baseman. Single by Nickerson, a single by Lee, and a single by Long, all on the left side. Stirag on the outside corner, just caught the stripe. Escobar-Umayam doing some pitching back on Tuesday, was the starter, and now finds himself behind the mound today. There's a high one up in the eyes of the catcher, or the big first baseman, Umayam. A senior.
Big threat here by Kamiak with the bases loaded, Keith.
It is. Right where you want to be. There's a high.
Falling foul.
Long foul ball off the right-hand side out of play, and that will be the second strike now on Escobar Amayam. Only one away. Infield is back, double play distance. Looking to get out of the infield should Escobar Amayam roll one over. And here comes the Ainsworth pitch right down the third baseline off the heel. It's fair ball. That'll score one. On his way in, Lee will easily stand up for number 2 run across the plate. And it is quickly a lead by the Knights. And that one looked like it was playable, and Atwood just got right at the bag and ran up his heel, and I don't know what you're going to score that one, Ron. I think he could have handled that one easily and tagged the bag for an out.
I think he could have. It kind of looked like the ball hit the bag about the same time he was trying to catch it there, so it was kind of like a little bit of a mix-up, but could have been in there.
So we'll say E5, and that will put Long on second base. Escobar Amayam will not get the RBI on the error. But the damage has been done. 2 Knights across the plate, 2-0 early on, top of the first inning. And that brings up Andrew Pitts, the left fielder. And every single batted ball thus far, Ron, has gone into left field or thereabouts, the left side of the diamond.
It sure has.
Leads me to believe that Ainsworth is pushing them inside just a little bit on these right-handed hitters, giving them something to pull here. There's a swing and a miss, and down on strikes, 3 quick ones, goes Andrew Pitts. So 2 strikeouts. And that'll bring up the DH, Jordan Betancourt. Betancourt, a junior, plays pretty much every position, outfield, first base, pitching. Kid does it all, and now with a swing and a miss at the first offering from Ainsworth. And right now you just got to control the damage. Try to get your outfield and your fielders in and get some batting together. There's a shot down the second baseman, gobbled up there by Anderson. The toss across is in time. And that will retire the sides. But 2 runs on 3 hits. 1 error and 2 left. And we'll head to the bottom half of the first inning. It's Jackson and the Knights. And the Knights are up 2-0. You're listening and watching STSPN.
That was beautiful. Basically, yeah.
Welcome back on this STSPN broadcast of Jackson Timberwolves baseball. Hosting the Kamiak Knights tonight. And Ron Henthorn, it's been a very quick two runs put across by the Knights, and they did it in all on the left-hand side of the diamond, and the damage was done. 2, 3, 4, all back-to-back-to-back singles.
Yeah, just like that, opening up the first inning there with a big lead to start here. Hitting all the left side kind of makes me wonder whether pitching's a little slow out there. They're kind of getting around fast on them, so maybe used to a little faster pitching.
Yeah, they're definitely pulling the ball more than they're pushing it. And that'll bring up Jackson Timberwolves and Kirk Nicholson's lineup. Aaron Avalos will lead things up. He will be the shortstop today. Keenan Foster will be in left field and bat second. Alex Cheeseman, the first baseman, will be batting third. Jeffrey Atwood will be at third base. Alex Keel, the man who got a big triple, 2 RBI triple on Tuesday's game to win that one, will be in the catching spot. Blake Chong, the designated hitter for Stephen Ainsworth, the pitcher today. Chris Neville will be in right field. Alec Anderson will be the second baseman, and Justin Hampson will be in center field. and bat ninth for the Timberwolves. Around the outfield for the Knights, Pitts, Becker, and Nickerson, the left to right field. And around the infield, Tremaine, Lee, Pettibone, Escobar, Umayam, and doing the catching is Long today. And that will bring up Aaron Avalos. Takes a couple of practice swings, and the umpire now going over to talk to Steve Merkley in the dugout, the Kamiak Knights head coach.
That umpire's Mike Kilpatrick today on behind the plate, and John Van Eyck on the bases today.
And now the sign is given to start play here in the bottom half of inning number 1. The offensive side for the Timberwolves. Very patient club at the plate, as evident there as Aaron Avalos takes a high, wide one. And the right-hitting junior Avalos looks in at a breaking ball and evens the count 1 apiece, 1-1. Jordan Meyer on the mound for the Knights, and there's a big cut by Avalos. He's a junior. Curveball went in.
1-2 the count, I think.
Sorry about that.
And that was a nice breaking ball, a little bendy, but high and outside. As Avalos just kind of froze in his tracks. I don't think he was taking a cut at that one had he wanted to. And here comes the shot, and it's into right field. That will drop and be foul. Puts on the brakes, just foul, down that right field line. That time, took a breaking ball. He saw 2 up in his eyes on that outside corner. And he got his third one, and he just went right with the pitch.
It's like that Jackson, Kamiak's hitting down the right field line.
And that one looked right about
Looked close, didn't
where it needed to be, but nonetheless, the umpire says no, and it is a full count now on Avalos, who's having a great at-bat as the leadoff man. The payoff pitch, swing, and a dribbler down the third baseline, gobbled up there by Tremaine, and over, not in time. It'll roll to the fence, getting extra bases now. Avalos takes the turn to second base. He will be held up there. And it was Tremaine who made a good scoop, but fired in low trying to hit the first baseman, Escobar Umayam, and right off the bat we've got an E5.
That's what I say.
On the throw. And now Keenan Foster, the left fielder, will step to the plate as Jake Long goes out to talk things over with his battery mate, the man on the hill, Jordan Meyer, on how they want to pitch to Foster. Already a runner in scoring position for the Timberwolves, but they're down by 2 runs early. Foster scoring around, looked like he was going to advance the runner to third base.
Yeah, I think he was just faking out a little bit there. Not sure if bunt is a good idea right now.
And now the pitch, another curveball high and in the eyes of Foster, is taken for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, he might bunt it, but I don't know if it's early in the game like this with a man on second, no outs. You might as well swing away and see what he can get.
First, depends on what Kirk Nicholson wants to do. There's the bunt, squares around, caught it for strike 1.
Yeah.
2 balls and a strike now.
It's like he's taken all the way on that one because he could have hit that one.
Depends on the skill set of the batter, too. If Foster is one of your better players at laying down a bunt, maybe you go to him here, sacrifice, get the runner 90 feet closer, and that time he'll pull the bat back. And Meyer struggling with his control right now. Already went a full count to Avalos, the batter who is now standing on second base, and now a 3-ball, 1-strike count to Foster. High pitch counts. There's the bunt down the left field line is foul toward the dugout of the Timberwolves, and now we have our second full count in as many batters.
And that should take the bunt off.
You would think.
You got to be good to bunt this one and stay fair.
So Foster digs in, the right-handed hitter now. about midway through the batter's box. They'll tag one right over the top of the second baseman into the gap. It is a hit, and that could have scored the runner, but excellent throw. Coming up on it was Becker, the center fielder. He got a good run on it, and he put a charge into that throw. And that is why the man, Avalos, was held there and unfortunately took the RBI away from Kenan Foster. But Foster ends up on first base. And now runners at the corners with nobody out for the first baseman, Alex Cheeseman.
I thought Aaron was a little slow moving off of second base on that. I don't know if he thought he might catch that or not, but didn't get the jump I thought he should have had.
Cheeseman Jr. now squares around. He'll try to lay one down the left field line. No good there. 0 for 2 on bunt attempts. Foster will trot back to first base. Bottom of the first inning here at Jackson High School. Timberwolves find themselves in a 2-0 deficit after a half inning. The Knights put up 2 in their opening frame. And now charging in on the bunts right over the top where the second baseman was. Beautiful slap hit into the gap in right field. That will easily score the runner, Avalos. And cutting the lead now in half. And the runner still at the corners with nobody out with the Cheeseman single.
Right.
Cheeseman with an RBI. Saw Pettibone charging in from second base to try to take the bunt away. And just pulled the bat back was Cheeseman and slapped it into the gap right where right where Pettibone was, the second baseman. Yeah. Beautiful piece of hitting.
And not so beautiful piece of fielding, I don't think. I'm not sure that was a wise thing. Well, it turned out not to be a wise thing, but I'm not sure why he would do it in the first place.
Boy, and you wonder what's going through his mind, not necessarily in running up on the bunt. If he thinks he's going to bunt, that's legitimate. But as soon as the batter turns around, that will be a foul ball. But as soon as the batter squares back around and you're only 10 feet off the plate, your eyes have got to go a little wide, I would think.
Yeah, it's like, okay, stop running.
That ball can come back at you in a hurry.
I'm not used to seeing a second baseman charge a bunt, though.
Usually the corners, first and third.
So that was probably a coaching called play.
Escobar Umayam, of course, holding the runner on first base. But still, I think you're correct, Ron. And very rarely you see the second baseman charging in at least that hard. There's the curveball off the mark once again. And the big left-handed hitter, Atwood, now in that cleanup spot, has 2 aboard. The pitch from Meyer. And the throw down on a steal attempt. He's in there. That is Cheeseman, who gets credit for the stolen base. And I don't know that the ball would have gotten there. It was a good job by Pettibone to just hold up and make sure the runner at third base, Foster, did not go.
Kind of looked like they might have been doing that cutoff thinking they were going to get a runner going. But they didn't throw it. He was 10 feet short of the base out there on that throw.
Strike call on the outside corner. And with the stolen base, Cheeseman heads into scoring position now. So 2 aboard for Atwood. Curveball. Fought it off at the hands. Back into the screen it goes. 2 strikes now on the cleanup man.
Still no outs here.
And the pitch also got just a little bit of it behind on the fastball. Was able to force it off over the left field dugout. The third base dugout occupied by the Timberwolves. And hanging tough now is Atwood. Here comes the pitch. Another one toward the left field side.
Those are heading over to the soccer pitch over there. Scare the soccer players with a little bitty ball.
But it can rattle around. He hits enough trash cans and buildings down there. It'll let somebody know. And now the pitch. Again, 2 strikes. That one a high foul ball. And the umpire is going to have to go ask for some replacements now.
That's 3 in a row out there.
Try to hustle in a couple of...
One of them came back so far.
There's one. And that may be all they get in short term until they can round up the others.
So Jeffrey's a little bit late on each one of those, so he's kind of getting behind the pitch here a little bit, but still in there.
And the left-handed sophomore now digs in. And the pitch, low and in the dirt. Great scoop by Long to smother that one before it got to the fence. Foster wanted to go. You can tell he did. He was 2 steps down the line at third base. Still 2 strikes. This is about the 8th pitch of the at-bat. And golfed that one down the first baseline and quickly trotting over as Escobar Umayam, 1 unassisted. And that will be the first out of the half inning here. The Timberwolves half of the first. Up now, Alex Keel, the catcher. Keel again, that big triple back on Tuesday off Escobar Umayam. Scored 2 runs, and that proved to be all that the Timberwolves would need after, I think that happened in the 5th inning. It would go the rest of the way and get the win back on Tuesday. And now Long trots out to the mound, as does head coach Steve Merkley, to talk to Jordan Meyer.
I thought he pitched a strike. I'm not sure what the concern is out there.
Could be that Merkley's just seeing something he doesn't like in the delivery, or they're just trying to settle the guy down. And he got 1 out. Do we want to walk the next one and load the bases and see if we can't get out of this with a double play? Or do you feel confident enough to pitch to Keel and keep the ball on the ground?
Good managing thinking there, Keith. And I don't know if he's going to do it or not, but looks like not. Looks like he's going to pitch to him.
You already know Keel can do some damage. Big hitter. And here comes the pitch. Swing, and it toward the right field line. Foul. Head coach Kirk Nicholson has mentioned as being very comfortable when Keel is at the plate. And when your manager is comfortable, you have to feel comfortable as you dig in.
You bet.
Especially with runners at scoring position. You got to tie with 1 runner across. You're able to get it in a gap or even a long base hit here into the outfield. You'll probably score 2 and take the lead.
I think I got 0-2 count. I'm not sure, but
I believe that's what it is. I think that first pitch was a strike. So the 0-2 swing down the left field line, foul. So he's definitely able to use all parts of the park. His spray chart must look pretty wide. He's taking a foul ball to the left field line, taking one to the right field line.
Yeah, he's probably a pretty good hitter. I don't know if we don't have any hitting stats on these kids, but he's usually hitting up in the 300-400 range, you know.
Usually you're 4, 5, 6 hitters, 3, 4, 5, 6 hitters. Well, at any level, but especially high school, are some of your better batters. There's a high, lazy fly ball into center field, long enough to tag. Tagging up on it is Foster, and he'll easily cross the plate. Holding up is Cheeseman at second base, but an RBI sac fly for Alex Keel, and the game is tied at 2 runs apiece. Fought it off long enough in order to get one he liked, and we talked about using the entire field. A couple dribbled down the left field line, foul, right field line, foul, and then put a charge into one straight down the middle.
All he needed for an RBI, for sure.
Blake Chon, the left-handed hitter, takes strike 1. The 6th Timberwolf to come to the plate here in the bottom of inning number 1. We're all tied up at 2 runs apiece. Cheeseman at second base. Here comes the pitch. That was a beauty. A little slider inside to out on Chong, and quickly in the hole is the designated hitter.
A couple of really good, solid pitches in there.
Meyer suddenly looks like he's settled in. There's an outside breaking ball trying to get the junior to chase one, Blake Chong. Chong wisely holding up. And the left-handed pitcher, of course, against the left-handed hitter is much more comfortable, able to push the ball away from hitters with the breaking stuff. There's a ground ball to first baseman, Escobar Umayam, easy on it. That will be the third out of the inning. But 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left on. We'll head to the top half of inning number 2 on STSPN. We're tied, 2 runs apiece.
Are you looking for help selling or buying a new home in the beautiful Snohomish area? I got great news. Look no further than Gilpin Realty. And you want to make sure you talk to Leela and Ray Cook. They understand. There's somebody you can trust if you're looking for new construction. They know the community. They know the schools. Why? Because they're lifelong Snohomish residents and they have 32 years of real estate experience. So if you're buying, if you're selling, you're looking for a house for your family, there's nowhere else to go than Leela and Ray Cook. Give them a call or check out all their properties right now at gilpinrealty.com.
We hope you're enjoying the broadcast on STSPN. Keith Neely, Ron Henthorn with you here at Jackson High School. It's already been a good offensive performance for both teams.
Yeah, both of them come out in that first inning, each score a couple of runs, tie it back up here, and they go into the second inning and see what happens now.
Due up for the Knights, Tremaine Becker, the 8-9 hitters, then back to the top of the order, and Alex Pettibone. So both teams have gone fairly deep in their lineups. Getting a good look at starting pitcher Stephen Ainsworth, and the senior has not thrown a lot of pitches, but got 3 base hits knocked against him in that top of the first inning. Aggressive hitting by the Knights so far, going after pitches 1 and 2 just as often as not. Of course, Timberwolves being a lot more patient, working a lot more counts to 3 balls and full counts than their Knight counterparts.
Yeah, threw a lot more balls out there.
Here comes the Ainsworth offering. Swing and a foul into the screen behind home plate.
Josh Tremaine, a lefty up there.
Couple of left-handed huckers today, and Meyer and Ainsworth. That one awful close. Framing it was the catcher, Alex Keel, trying to get an answer from Mark Kirkpatrick, the man wearing blue behind home plate, but it's a ball, 1-1 now. That one a strike. Pulled right up into the strike zone by the catcher, Keel, again. A great bit of catching back there. And now in the hole is Tremaine. Here comes the offering. Swing, got right through it. Strikeout number 3 for Stephen Ainsworth. And a great way to start the second inning with the punch-out of Josh Tremaine.
That's the way he started the first inning.
He did. The Pettibone K will be coming up. He's on deck now. Will be the third hitter in the at-bat for the Knights. But Tyler Becker, the center fielder, comes to the plate first and outside on a fastball straight gas. And Ainsworth will go back, gather the baseball, and he's a quick worker. Not wasting any time. There's a
That's gonna go
shot
foul.
to the right side foul.
Off into the trees. That's the second ball over in those trees over there, so I know those both are lost. Gonna have to go to the store and buy some new balls here.
Boy, if you want to make a living, you just kind of hang out there during baseball season and gather up whatever you can. Low and inside on the curveball.
Might be a bear in those woods. You never know.
Small bear. Here comes the lefty's pitch. It's right to the second baseman. Anderson with it. The toss across to Cheeseman is in time, and there are 2 away. Back to the top of the order for the Knights, Alec Pettibone, who was a strikeout victim of Meyer in the top half of the first inning before the real damage was done. Nickerson, Lee, and Long, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, back-to-back-to-back singles, scored a couple of runs, and of course the error that followed that put 5 straight Knights on base. And they managed 2 runs, but so far nobody on base in this half. There's a swing on a big cut by the second baseman, Pettibone. Actually, this is Becker.
Oh, this is
This is Becker. So somewhere I missed somebody, or we're adding we got a switch.
Is that Becker up there?
That is Becker. He's wearing number 24.
Okay.
Is Becker, the right-handed hitter. So I'm going to have to go back and do a little negotiation of my lineup card, unless you've got it.
No, I got it the same way you did. I thought I wasn't even looking at the numbers. I was just going by the card, so I thought that's where we were. So,
nonetheless, here comes Becker, and we'll have to wedge in an extra batsman in there between 8 and 9. 8.5 in the lineup.
we'll see what comes around the next time the lineup. We'll see who's batting in that order.
Nonetheless, here comes the Ainsworth pitch, swinging at the plate, fouled off, just in and out of the catching glove of Keel. And, of course, not blessed with a PA announcer or official scorekeeper in front of us, so your guess is as good as ours is here as to what the order is at this point in time. There's a foul straight back, got caught up to that one right away, just off the top of the bat.
Over the backstop and into the woods again.
Sun coming out here at Jackson Baseball Field. Mill Creek, Washington. Swing and a miss, and that will do it. Another strikeout for, this time we'll put it in for Becker. 2 strikeouts in the inning by Ainsworth. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. Bottom of 2 coming up on STSPN.
The Eye Care Center of Snohomish on Avenue D is here to help with all your eye care needs. Our professional staff is committed to offering the most sophisticated, high-end, latest technologies to our patients. And the Eye Care Center is a relaxed atmosphere, allows you to browse the over 800 high-end designer frames, including some for the little ones. There's really no reason to go anywhere else. See us online at eyecarecenterofsnohomish.com or call 360-568-6666.
Still trying to sort things off the lineup card here as to what happened in the last half inning. We do know that we got to the bottom of the inning, and Tyler Becker, the center fielder, was the last man to the plate in the strikeout victim of Stephen Ainsworth. So we'll have to really keep tough tabs on what's going on the next half inning, Ron, in order to sort things out. What we do know is that coming to the plate are the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for the T-Wolves. Neville, the right fielder, steps in now and takes a first pitch strike on the outside corner.
Well, we're just going to have to wait till Kamiak's back up running their lineup again and see what numbers come up to the plate there.
2-2 your score. All knotted up after an inning and a half, and now a strike 2, another curveball, and
that was so far down low the catcher couldn't catch it. He called it a strike. It must have really broke hard down there.
Meyer really using the curveball or the breaking ball more than his fastball. That time bounced it in about 57 feet.
He could have called that a strike off the bounce.
It got caught about 4 inches of air after it hit the grass. That one was in grass. That wasn't even in the dirt in front of home plate. It was so far a ball. So the 1-2 just poked down to second base. Pettibone over to Escobar Yomayam. A 4-3 put out. And Anderson will come to the plate for the Timberwolves. Anderson, Hampson, the 8-9 hitters.
You see that bouncing ball there? It reminds me of old Ichiro who played for the Mariners. That when he was playing in Japan, he actually would hit balls that bounced like that. Especially
if you're in the turf, get a high chopper.
Yeah.
Get that thing bounced up there enough to get 4 or 5 strides at least down the first base paths before it comes back down and is able to be fielded, that time inside. 2 balls, no strikes on Anderson. That one right down Broadway. Couldn't have been a fatter strike if you could have put one in a pitching machine and fired it right at the target. That thing was dangling out there, and Anderson decided to hold back. Curveball right back up the middle for a base hit. And Anderson is aboard with a single. I like how Becker is playing his position in center field for the Knights. He is very aware. And that ball, he was right up probably 6 or 7 strides forward the minute that came off the bat of Anderson. And easily held Anderson to a single, no question.
No question about that.
Hampson now, the left-handed hitter. Checks the runner. Meyer, a lefty, has a pretty good view over there at first base. Easy pickoff opportunity.
There's a ground
And
ball.
there's a ground ball through the gap in left field. And 2 singles back-to-back after a first out of the inning by Neville in the first batter. 2 singles puts runners at first and second and brings up the top of the order. And Aaron Avalos, who scored after reaching on an error back in the first. So now the table's set just a little bit with only 1 out. Of course, the double play will get you out of the inning. And that's what Jordan Meyer has got to hope for now as the junior grabs that rock on his left hip. And now comes set. Here's the pitch. High. Just a tad for ball 1. Nice afternoon here at the ballpark.
Turned out to be a beautiful day in Mill Creek here.
Lazy, fluffy clouds floating by. We get our glimpses of some sunshine. High on the breaking ball in the eyes of Avalos. But enough sunshine to make it very comfortable. Of course, spring in the great PNW is always a question mark. Outdoor sports, you never know if you're going to get a game in or not.
It's true.
So you got to relish the ones you can, especially without rain gear. 3 balls.
Yeah. Well, Northwest is the only part of the world they play baseball in the rain.
And of course, there's different types of rain. That's a walk. First walk of the ball game issued by Meyer. And it loads them up. Avalos on board. And they're juiced for Cannon Foster, who got a single back in the first inning and ended up scoring the second run of the ball game for the Timberwolves. And now the conference on the mound, Long and Meyer, want to talk things over on how they're going to go about Cannon Foster. And right now you're in a bit of trouble. Of course, the Timberwolves always up there in competitive baseball. Inside. Kirk Nicholson has always had a great program. A couple years in a row there, back about 3-4 years ago, back-to-back in state. Got all the way up, I believe, to second place. So they definitely know how to run themselves through a long into postseason. Another ball. And personally, I think Kirk Nicholson missed his calling. He should have played base for Leonard Skinnard. I think that's what he looks like he should have been doing to me.
Looks like a bass player to you?
He certainly looks like he should have been playing for Leonard Skinnard. Got the whole look. Long hair, slow moves.
That little pickoff play there to second base just to keep the runner close.
Runners on every bag here for Jackson. Outside, and you're in danger land of walking one in. 3 balls. to Foster, who's being very patient and letting every Jordan Meyer breaking ball go right on by.
Don't usually see a pickoff play at second base with the bases loaded, do you?
And here comes the rockin' fire. Swung on and popped into the right field line, giving chase is first baseman Escobar Umayam, and it is foul. And the first swing of the at-bat for Foster. And you wonder if he wants that one back. It looked a little outside. He just kind of poked the end of the bat down there, but that was probably ball 4 and an RBI walk.
Could have been, yeah. So get him an RBI if he gets a walk.
And now Meyer is set. The pitch, swing, ground ball to third base. They're going to come home with it. There's out number 1. Double play, no. As Long couldn't get it out of his glove, and that is a fielder's choice for Foster, and that erases Anderson. But they're still loaded. 2 down after the fielder's choice. Hampson moves over to third base. Avalos down to second, and Foster on first for Alex Cheeseman, who has an RBI single. There it goes past the third baseman. That'll score a run. And it'll score 2 runs on the double. Look at that. Cheeseman comes up, hits the first pitch. He's got a single, a double, a stolen base, and 3 RBI in 2 at-bats. That's some kind of efficiency.
Doing good. Two at-bats, 2 hits.
And that blossoms the score to 4-2. As Hampson comes around to score, Avalos comes around to score. Foster ends up on third base, and now the cleanup hitter, Atwood, at the plate for the Timberwolves, who grounded to first in his first at-bat only an inning ago. And now we'll wind in the pitch. Another fastball outside. And it seems to me that Meyer is much more comfortable throwing the breaking stuff than he is the fastball. That time, outside.
Yeah.
That's a strike right at the knees and a beauty. Atwood grips the bat. Left-handed hitter. Puts the bat square on his shoulders. Now a little bat waggle. And here comes the Meyer pitch. Swing and into left field. Giving chase is Pitts, and it is foul.
Off the left field down in the batting cage.
Pitts took a step in and then headed off to his right. And he does that when it's coming toward him. It may get over his head. He's going to have to be careful over there in left field. Here comes the pitch to Atwood.
Ooh, that looked pretty good. Not good enough.
2 balls and
Two
I think
strikes.
3 strikes. We're full up.
2 strikes.
2 strikes?
Can't have 3 and still be up, but that's okay.
Well, that's true. 2 balls, 3 balls and 2 strikes. I think he had a...
Oh,
There's the punch out regardless.
He went.
Down goes Jeffrey Atwood, and that will be the end of the inning for the Timberwolves. But they score 2 on 3 hits. No errors and 2 left. We'll head to the third inning. It's 4-2 Timberwolves over Knights. You're watching STSPN.
That was beautiful. Basically, yeah, it's great.
Welcome back to a filtered sunshine of Jackson High School baseball field. Jackson comes back in their bottom half of the second inning and puts up 2 more runs. They've gotten 2 in the first, 2 here in the second. And now we'll give way to the Knights in the top of the third. Pettibone, Nickerson, and Lee due up for the Knights.
And Pettibone is in the on-deck circle here, so I think we got the start up right here anyway. And
I think we know pretty confidently 1 through 6 at this point in time. After that, my confidence is medium.
We'll adjust when we get there. But Pettibone, a fourth-year player, he's been played 4 years here at second base for Kamiak here, and his coach says he's probably going to make it somewhere in a small college as a baseball player, and wherever he decides to go to school, and he hasn't decided yet. Hey, the fly ball easy out.
First pitch strike is swung on and hit right to Foster in left field. So Pettibone 0 for 2 after flying out to left field, and that'll bring up Dominic Nickerson, who's got a single back in the first inning and scored a run. And takes a first pitch strike, a little more patient. And Nickerson digs in. And the pitch, swing and fouled at the plate. Good cut. Ainsworth still right in around the plate. Has much better control so far than Jordan Meyer over at Kamiak as far as starting pitches goes. And there's another one turned right into the fence behind home plate for strike 2. But he didn't miss it by much. Nickerson, the last 2 cuts have been right at it. And the lefty gets set. Now the rock. Here's the fire outside, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Not going to give him anything good to look at if he's going to be swinging at those pitches.
Last of a 3-game set here between the Knights and the Timberwolves. The pitch high and behind home plate, foul.
That's about the 4th ball over in the woods over there.
At least 4.
Yeah.
Jackson won the first game 5-4 back on Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday's game we're unsure of. Either rained out or the score has not been submitted. Of course, Friday afternoon, playing through a lot of these kids' spring break. Baseball continues. Here's the swing and a miss.
Cut out.
And another punch out. Nickerson is down on strikes. That's the 4th strikeout victim for Stephen Ainsworth. And 2 outs here for the Knights in the 3rd. Jeff Lee, also a single and a run scored in the first inning. We'll try to get something started. There is a beautiful off-speed pitch by Ainsworth for strike 1, and he really looks comfortable now.
Yeah, Jeff Lee, one of the better seniors on this ball club. His coach says that he should be a Division I player, so we'll see if he gets any offers here as the next few weeks sort of go on. Kamiak has 11 seniors on this team.
There's a fly ball. It could be into the gap. Calling off everybody is the shortstop in Avalos, and that is out number 3. On the grass, it took him a little while to get back there, but he made the grab and communicated well to his outfield, and that is the end of the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left in the Knights' half of the 3rd. It is 4-3 Timberwolves. We'll be back on STSPN.
Are you looking for help selling or buying a new home in the beautiful Snohomish area? I got great news. Look no further than Gilpin Realty. You want to make sure you talk to Leela and Ray Cook. They understand. There's somebody you can trust if you're looking for new construction. They know the community. They know the schools. Why? Because they're lifelong Snohomish residents and they have 32 years of real estate experience. So if you're buying, if you're selling, you're looking for a house for your family, there's nowhere else to go than Leela and Ray Cook. Give them a call or check out all their properties right now at gilpinrealty.com.
Swing, and that'll be a base hit. Losing the ball for just a little bit there in right field was Nickerson, but it was Chong not really pushing the issue too much. I think had he been digging the whole way, he might have gotten second, but he pulled in pretty easily into first base and with the single. And that'll bring up Chris Neville. Ground out in the second inning is 0 for 1.
Going to get a pinch runner in over there.
I don't know if you can tell who it is.
If I can pick
Ron?
him up, if he'll turn around, kid.
Jackson right now a game behind Cascade in the Wesco South standings, 4A of course. Linwood behind them, and then Kamiak. But they're all pretty close. Cascade 3-0, Jackson 2-0. Linwood 2-1, and Kamiak 1-1. Edmonds Woodway, normally very strong baseball fielding team, 0-3 in the league and 2-6 overall. Struggling just a little bit in a rebuilding year. And Mariner, the Marauders, 0-3, 1-7 in the Wesco South Division. Stolen base attempt in through the shortstop rather.
And that's number 30 out there, Alex Baumgartner, doing the pinch running there. Nice job he did. Picked him up here.
So Baumgartner with the stolen base. And we'll see what Neville can do with a runner in scoring position now. Been very timely for the Timberwolves so far today. And there's a ground ball right to the shortstop. Lee will fire across, and that also in time to retire the right fielder. And now Alec Anderson will come up with 2 outs and a runner on second. Anderson got a single in the second inning, and then it was erased on the Keenan Foster fielder's choice. And there's a base hit. That should drop. Into the gap it goes. That'll score a run. Baumgartner around third will score easily, and that is a 5-2 score. Timberwolves timely hitting off the bat of Alec Anderson to get the RBI single with 2 outs.
He hit the first pitch that time, and the first 2 batters up each hit the first pitch. One flied out and one hit. They got a hit. So they're swinging fast and quick out there right now.
Jordan Meyer, the starting pitcher for the Knights, must be giving them something they really like to see right over the plate. Struggled with his control just a little bit. Ran some counts full in the first 2 innings. And now right in around the plate. But the Timberwolves are teeing off.
They are. Starting to rack up some runs here.
Hampson, 1 for 1 today with a single and a run scored. And inning number 2, and the lefty will have a bunt attempt right at the plate. And that should be an easy out. Quickly, Long throws down. and that will be out number 3. But a timely run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. We'll head to 4th inning with the Timberwolves on top of the Knights, 5-2.
The Eye Care Center of Snohomish on Avenue D is here to help with all your eye care needs. Our professional staff is committed to offering the most sophisticated, high-end, latest technologies to our patients. And the Eye Care Center is a relaxed atmosphere, allows you to browse the over 800 high-end designer frames, including some for the little ones. There's really no reason to go anywhere else. See us online at eyecarecenterofsnohomish.com or call 360-568-6666.
Welcome back to STSPN. Keith Neely and Ron Henthorn doing your baseball here between the Jackson Timberwolves and the Kamiak Knights. There's some filtered sunshine on a beautiful spring afternoon here at Jackson High School. Timberwolves leading this thing 5-2. And a first pitch strike right down to third base, and it is handcuffed there. Atwood was up on it, and it went right off his bicep. And that thing was drilled but short hopped, and now they'll come out and take a look and make sure that Atwood is okay. Although hard hit, it has to go in the book as an error. And Jake Long is aboard with an E5.
That's what I would give him.
So a runner on now, and the Knights need some runs. It's not desperation time quite yet, but you like to string a couple of hits together here and get yourself back into this ball game for your starting pitcher, Meyer. Ainsworth gave up 3 hits in succession back in the first inning, and since then has really settled in. The senior now will face Gavon Escobar-Umayum, who reached on an error also by Atwood back in inning number 1, and now comes up in the 4th with a runner on. And a pickoff move will get the runner back to first base, Long. Always a little different being over there on first base when you're facing a left-handed pitcher.
Yeah, you got to watch closely.
High leg kick, and if it doesn't even swing toward home plate, you better be on your watch because he could come right at you. And here's the pitch. Swing high, fly ball, foul, and out of play, left side.
Kevon Sr. there for the Knights, looking to try to find his way in some junior college is what I have been told. So good luck to him for that.
A lot of baseball out there. There's
another ground foul.
Foul ball, left side. And, of course, you got your junior colleges still playing a lot of baseball. NIAI make a trip over to Idaho, Lewiston, Idaho, the home of the NAIA World Series for so many years in a row. We're pretty close in our backyard. A lot of baseball around for being as cold and dreary as it can be here in the Northwest.
Yeah, I don't think they think so. These kids play in the rain. They play in wet fields.
Yeah, you like to play, you like to play. There's a strike foul behind home plate and over the screen.
Yeah, I was just saying the other day, I grew up and played ball in the Midwest, and, you know, if it started to rain, they quit. They didn't play. And here they're like, oh, we're going to play until the field is in bad shape.
You wouldn't get any games in if you had that kind of attitude here. You'd be play every other week. There's a gapper.
Yeah.
That'll drop in right in front of the left fielder, Neville. And it'll be a long single cutting over quickly to his right. Neville got off with a shot of the bat. As soon as that thing was heading into right center field, he was off like a lightning bolt.
Yeah, that was the other left fielder that was in right.
Right fielder. And
sitting here with
get them all crossed up.
Your left fielder's on your right. We're used to sitting on the other side.
Nonetheless, it's a single. And this brings up Andrew Pitts, who struck out in the first inning. He's got runners on first and second base with nobody away. And now we'll see what Ainsworth has. Looked very comfortable right around the plate, as he did right there with that fastball.
He struck out Andrew the last time he had him up there, so I'm trying to want to do it again.
And the pitch this time gets away from the catcher, and the runners are off to the races. Everybody moves up. And that will go as a wild pitch charged against Ainsworth. Long down to third base. Umayam down to second. And now Pitts has a real opportunity.
Fly ball scores a run here.
The Ainsworth pitch low for ball two. No, they called it a strike.
Wow.
They called it a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes against Andrew Pitts. The 1-2 swing foul at the plate. I hope they have a whole box of baseballs in that dugout.
They're losing a few here today.
That got him. A punch out on the outside corner, and Andrew Pitts is down for the second time, this time looking. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts for Stephen Ainsworth. And now Jordan Betancourt, 0 for 1 with a ground out. We'll see what he can do with 2 runners on in scoring position. High and outside for ball 1. At the ballpark here at Jackson High School, there's about a 15-foot walkway behind the home plate fence and the tree line. And after that, it's pretty dense shrubbery. You're going to have to go on safari back there in order to recover any baseballs. There's the swing, ground ball. Going the easy way will score the run. They'll give it up in order to get the sure out.
Yeah,
so a fielder's choice RBI will score long.
That batter was actually number 20.
Now that may be where we're getting all wrong.
So that wasn't
Betancourt. So we'll see now if number 16 comes to the plate. That may be where we got wronged the last time.
We got 11 up there now. So he changed the lineup on us, I guess. So.
Well, I'm going to assume now that. Well, I can't assume anything at this point.
Well,
Weber got the RBI ground out, and now a long fly ball. That could be trouble over the head of the diving second baseman. Quickly up on it is Neville, but that will also score a run. And Escobar Umayam goes in, and it's 5-4 after 2 back-to-back RBI by the Knights.
No, I think it's in the middle there.
Yeah, I don't know what your lineup card looks like, Ron, but mine looks like a road map in downtown Manhattan right now. As a first pitch strike. Don't know if this is Betancourt or not.
This is number 14 with a strike swing. 14 is, for my lineup, Nathan Schubert, one of the original lineup I had. So, Coach gave me a big change up on the lineup here. The end of the lineup changed up quite a bit from what I got earlier there. So I didn't have these kids on the lineup.
And that'll do it on the strikeout. So we'll gather ourselves, figure out what's going on. What you need to know is 2 runs by the Knights on 2 hits, no errors, and, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. The Knights wiggling back into this thing. It's 5-4 Jackson.
That was beautiful. It's basically, yeah, it's great.
Welcome back to this STSPN broadcast. Keith Neely and Ron Hanthorn trying to get some semaphore gathered in here in order to get the signals into the dugout to try to figure out our Kamiak lineup. Head coach Steve Merkley gave us one, and I don't know if he just made lineup changes or we have something that different than what the umpiring staff has.
I think he gave us a lineup, and he may have changed it at the end in the first inning or right before it started, and we didn't get the new lineup because we're way out here, some 300 feet from home plate out in left center field. But let's get rolling on this inning, and we'll catch up again next.
We'll figure out what it is. Aaron Avalos leads things out for the Timberwolves. And they find themselves up a run. There's a swing and cut into the dugout along the third base line. Avalos has been on base twice, is 0 for 1. Reached on an error in the first, walked in the second, but has 2 runs scored. And that's when the rubber hits the road, that's what you want your leadoff hitter to do. There's a bouncer down to shortstop Lee with it, and he will get out number 1.
And we're in the 4th inning?
We are in the bottom of inning number 4. Seems like somebody put an anchor down there in the top half of the 4th.
Yeah.
Ground this thing to a halt. Kanan Foster is 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. Also scored a run in the first inning. Up for the 3rd time here. Takes a couple of low practice cuts. And now a high bunt that gets past the pitcher and foul.
Dangerous bunt.
Got it up in the air. Meyer was over there leaning off. Of course, a left-handed thrower fell off to the right-hand side or the third base dugout side. So by the time he can get that big frame turned around and charging over toward first base, he was not able to catch up with the high bunt. But a right-handed pitcher most likely would have been easy over there and would have had out number 2.
I think you're right on that one.
Foster will dig in now as the sunshine comes in. And things warm up about 10 degrees. Wind is calm just a little bit. It was coming in from left field toward home plate, so it would have made anything coming out of the ballpark, at least that direction, that much harder. But with the the bat changes that they made 2 years ago, with the sweet spot being so much lesser. There's a swing and a liner right to Tremaine over at third base, and Foster is erased. But they were worried about safety, and so they took those big aluminum bats, and the ball comes off so quickly off those bats. The state made a change in that each bat now had to have a much smaller sweet spot in the barrel of the bat. And you've seen home runs go way down, the home run count go way down in the Wesco League, and of course around the state for that matter.
Yeah, it's all because of the bat, huh?
Yeah. Now the wind picking up just a little bit. So most teams going back to traditional small ball, advancing runners, singles.
Well, that explains why these outfielders are playing so far in, even on the big hitters, or what I thought were the big hitters. They're just...
Yeah, it takes a real charge in order to get one out over the fence and out.
Well, especially if you got a debunked bat, as I would call it.
Yeah, probably the ability to get something square and long as Cheeseman takes a walk. He's been on board all 3 times.
Is that our first or second walk of the game?
That is only the first walk, or second walk, excuse me, given up by Meyer.
I think it's only the second walk of the game, isn't it?
Second walk of the ball game also. Alex Cheeseman with a single, a double, a walk now, 3 RBI and a stolen base. Finds himself on first base for the 3rd time. And now Jeffrey Atwood, who's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout, has 2 outs. And now the throw down, they can get Cheeseman, and got him. Cheeseman got off late. He got about a step late and then just decided to put his head down and go for it anyway. But a caught stealing on a beautiful throw by Long, and that is 3 up, 3 down.
John Van Eyck racked him up out there.
Absolutely. So we'll head to the top of the 5th inning. It's still 5-4. Timberwolves, the 1-run lead.
Are you looking for help selling or buying a new home in the beautiful Snohomish area? I got great news. Look no further than Gilpin Realty, and you want to make sure you talk to Leela and Ray Cook. They understand. There's somebody you can trust if you're looking for new construction. They know the community. They know the schools. Why? Because they're lifelong Snohomish residents, and they have 32 years of real estate experience. So if you're buying, if you're selling, you're looking for a house for your family, there's nowhere else to go than Leela and Ray Cook. Give them a call or check out all their properties right now at gilpinrealty.com.
Welcome back on STSPN. Wesco 4A South baseball between the Jackson Timberwolves and the Kamiak Knights. Jackson enjoying a 1-run lead here as we start inning number 5. And the Knights coming to bat with the 1, 2, and 3 hitters. Pettibone, Nickerson, and Lee do up for the Knights. So far been a great ball game. The Knights got things started with 2 runs in the top of the 1st inning, answered by 2 runs by Jackson in the bottom of the 1st. And then Jackson would put up a 2 spot in the 2nd and 1 in the 3rd before Jake Long, Kevin Escobar Umayam would score. And there's a long fly ball into right field caught. And that will be out number 1. Pettibone is retired with a couple of flyouts now. And Dominic Nickerson, who has a 1-for-1 day with a run scored, single and a run in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd. And now a pitch, fastball. Ainsworth still looks like he's got some octane.
He's still looking good. We've got Nicholas Rust over here.
There's a fly ball Can of corn drifting over is Avalos. Makes the catch on the grass for out number 2.
Kamiak warming up pitcher over there, Nicholas Rust. Maybe we'll see him come in next inning for the Kamiak.
And now the batter is Jeffrey Lee. Lee 1 for 2. Single and a run scored. And the pitch inside. Two balls and no strikes on Jeff Lee. And the pitch swinging into right field. That's shallow, coming up quickly on it. As Neville will make the catch for out number 3. So 3 fly ball outs off the bat of the Kamiak Knights. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left.
3 up, 3 down.
We'll head to the bottom half of inning number 5 on STSPN. Jackson with a 1-run lead.
The Eye Care Center of Snohomish on Avenue D is here to help with all your eye care needs. Our professional staff is committed to offering the most sophisticated, high-end, latest technologies to our patients. And the Eye Care Center is a relaxed atmosphere, allows you to browse the over 800 high-end designer frames, including some for the little ones. There's really no reason to go anywhere else. See us online at eyecarecenterofsnohomish.com or call 360-568-6666.
Jordan Meyer crawls back up on the hill to see if he can't get through inning number 5 for the Knights. He's already worked 4 innings, has given up 5 runs, although 2 of those are unearned.
He's actually not doing a bad job pitching out there. He's got a few strikeouts, and yeah, with those unearned runs, he'd be a different ball game.
Atwood, Keel, and Chong due up for the Timberwolves. Here's Atwood 0 for 2 on the afternoon with a ground out and a strikeout. Sees the first pitch wide for ball 1. And I'm right with you, Ron. It's not like Meyer has been just lit up. Of course, you've given up his runs, but he's been fairly effective around the plate. His pitch count is getting a little high. He's run a lot full.
He has, yeah. Might take a minute to count him up here and I get a chance.
Here's the pitch. About a half cut by Atwood. Watches a curveball go in for strike 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the juniors pitch. That's strike call.
Yeah.
Evens the count at 2 apiece. Meyer, good curveball, good off-speed stuff.
Did not watch this one go by.
There's the curveball, just got a little bit of the bat out of right between the wickets of Lee into left field, and that will be an error on the shortstop. Jeff Lee was right there, didn't quite get the ball to the dirt, or the glove to the dirt. Atwood's aboard with an E. That'll bring up Alex Keel with a sacrifice fly and an RBI in the first, ground out in his only other at-bat, so officially 0 for 1. And now has a runner on first base. And that can get in between the ears of your starting pitcher. You don't like to see those easy ground balls. You've pitched to work back in the count, get up 2 balls, you give up 2 balls and then work back to a 2-2 count and get your ground ball, and suddenly you have a runner on first base you wouldn't have thought you would have had there, and you've got to work back.
Yeah, I don't have an accurate count on the pitch count here, but he's got at least, in my rough count, 67 to 70 pitches already, and so he's getting up there pretty good.
Yeah, through 4 plus innings of work here by Jordan Meyer, the junior. And now a 1-1 count on Alex Keel. Checks the runner at first base, and now the offering low and outside. 2 balls and a strike. Well, 1 ball and 1 strike. I think I squeezed in another pitch there, at least according to the umpire. 5-4. Timberwolves with the lead, and they're at the plate right now. There's a throw down to
and he caught that.
a stolen base, and it took about a 3 feet short hop before it got to Lee.
Yep.
And couldn't hang on, and that is a stolen base by Jeffrey Atwood.
Had he hung on to that, the ball was there in plenty of time, and it was a decent throw by the catcher, so it wasn't his fault.
Long already got caught stealing, throwing out Alex Cheeseman to end the 4th inning. So it definitely shows his wares down there with the catching gear on.
Yeah, got a good arm.
Fouled at the plate. And the catcher, Alex Keel, will step in. And the right-handed hitter puts the bat up. Very steady bat waggle up there, timing high in the strike zone. There's a roller right to the third baseman across in time.
Just barely.
That time Atwood coming from left to right almost cut off his shortstop Avalos, who I thought had a better play on it, but was able to check the runner and make the throw across. Out number 1 brings up Blake Chong. A single and a run scored in the 3rd inning. Is 1 for 2 in the afternoon. Now calls timeout. Action in the Jackson bullpen.
Yeah, nice throw by Nathan McCarthy there to get that out on first base and still hold the runner, like you said. So
here's the pitch outside. Alex Cheeseman warming up for the Timberwolves. Behind the third base dugout there in the bullpen, down the left field line.
Right. Left.
Left field line.
Left field
Other
line.
right. My right, your left.
I got it mixed up that time.
Put your right foot in and do-si-do. There we go.
All right. Can't always be straight.
And there's Cheeseman in the bullpen. And the pitch, swing right back to the pitcher. No, it'll go to the shortstop. And Lee will gobble it up, throw across for the second out of the inning. Atwood will advance on the plate of third base, but there are 2 outs. So a couple of ground outs for Jordan Meyer has certainly helped his cause, and if Atwood would have made the first ground out of the inning, he'd be up 3 and down 3 in the inning and be out of it by now.
He would have, yeah.
But an extra out given, and there's the
Pass
roll
ball.
to the walk, and they get back to get the charging runner, and Atwood will score on the wild pitch. Ouch.
Wow.
6-4 now on the run.
That's too bad. It was pitcher had it covered. If the catcher could have got his hand on that ball, it would have had a little excitement there at the plate. But wasn't able to get the handle.
And that's the error that comes around and scored. So far, Jackson has scored a couple. There's their base hit into right field by Neville. And that would have scored the run anyway. So it kind of get a deep breath and shake yourself off if you're the starter, Jordan Meyer, at this point in time, that the damage was done, regardless of your wild pitch. And now Alec Anderson, who is 2 for 2 with an RBI, a couple of singles, and laboring a bit now as Meyer bounces that one in. And if pitch count is anything that you mentioned up into the 70s, Ron, his fatigue has got to be a bit of a working itself into play here.
It's going to be starting pretty good, yeah. So he's getting right in there where he's. Yeah, and I don't know if he's pitched any of the other 3 games or the other 2 games this week or not, or any part of them. But if he did, that would make a difference too.
Well, I imagine this will be the last batter that Jordan Meyer will face, whether he gets out of the inning or not. And here comes the pitch. That one is strike, and a nice one on the outside corner. The fastball missed with a couple of curves. Went right back to the fastball on the outer part of the plate. Here comes the 1-2. Swing at the plate. Maybe that will be strike number 2. So evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's what I think it is. See what the umpire thinks it is.
That's what he's got.
Yeah. He agrees with us.
Maybe the rare time. There's a swing into center field. Quickly Becker back. And will make the catch for out number 3. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 man left. And it is close game still. We'll head to the top of the 6th inning with the Timberwolves up 6-4.
Are you looking for help selling or buying a new home in the beautiful Snohomish area? I got great news. Look no further than Gilpin Realty, and you want to make sure you talk to Leela and Ray Cook. They understand. There's somebody you can trust if you're looking for new construction. They know the community. They know the schools. Why? Because they're lifelong Snohomish residents, and they have 32 years of real estate experience. So if you're buying, if you're selling, you're looking for a house for your family, there's nowhere else to go than Leela and Ray Cook. Give them a call or check out all their properties right now at gilpinrealty.com.
Heading to the top of the inning number 6 on STSPN, the Jackson Timberwolves a 2-run lead, 6-4 over the Kamiak Knights in the finale of 3-game series here at Scoop Jackson High School in Mill Creek, Washington. Keith Neely and Ron Henthorn with you.
Scoop Jackson, you're telling your age. Remember that up.
Been a little while. Henry Scoop Jackson. Here is the pitch, and back on the hill, Steven Ainsworth. Ainsworth has had a pretty good ball game so far today, only allowing 4 runs on 4 scattered hits, most of the damage coming in that first inning. And an error also responsible for those 2 runs in the first, so only 2 earned runs for Ainsworth today. To the shortstop and across. Avalos to Cheeseman. And Jake Long is retired. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Escobar Umayam, who is 1 for 2 today with a single and a run scored in the 4th inning. He also knocked in a pair of runs off the error in the first. He's the man that at least got the runners around on the error by the shortstop deep in the hole, and I guess there was a little bit of question mark there whether that was going to be an error. It sent Avalos well to his right and into the grass where he tried to backhand it.
Yeah, we didn't give him an error, so he's 2 for 2. He'll like that.
Here comes the Ainsworth pitch. Swing and a drilled into the gap now, giving chase 3 Timberwolves, and Escobar Umayam with a single, put him where you ain't. That's exactly what he did. He had all 3. He had Foster, Avalos, and Atwood all giving chase. The left fielder, Hampson was also in on that. So Hampson, Foster, and Avalos all giving run into that little Texas leaguer, a little flare, into center field. Here's a chance at a double play ball. There's 1 and 2. It is 6-4-3, and a beautiful execution on defense. And down in order go the Knights. No runs, one single, no errors, and nobody left on. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Jackson still in charge by 2 runs, 6-4.
That was beautiful. It's basically, yeah, it's great.
Back on STSPN for inning number 6, and Nicholas Rust in the bottom of the 6th. The Jackson Timberwolves coming to the plate, but Nicholas Rust, the senior, will replace Jordan Meyer on the hill for the Knights. Rust is a right-hander and will be facing Hampson, Avalos, and Foster, the 9, 1, and 2 hitters for the Jackson Timberwolves. Not a bad job by the starting pitcher, Jordan Meyer.
No, I think Jordan did a great job out there. He shouldn't be concerned about anything as far as his pitching is concerned.
Gave up 8 hits, scattered 4 earned runs, although he is charged, his team charged with all 6 of the Timberwolves runs. There 2 unearned runs in the first inning. And the pitch now by Rust is outside, but on the corner, they call it a strike. Only 2 errors apiece for both of these teams, but they've come at some pretty horrible times. The run in the 4th inning by the Knights was unearned. A pair of unearned runs in the first inning, so 3 unearned runs of the 4 runs for the Knights. Those coming off of 2 errors for the Timberwolves, and of course the 1, 2, 3 unearned runs by Jordan Meyer, the starting pitcher for the Knights. So errors today responsible for 5 of the runs in the ball game.
Yeah. Errors would make a big difference in this ball game.
Yeah, half of the production. Of the 10 runs scored today, 5 of them unearned.
We're sitting on a full count down there if my scorecard's right.
Justin Hampson, the left-handed hitter, is 1 for 2 today with a run scored. A single and hit into the left field line, foul, and it'll remain full. Hampson came up with the bases loaded in the 3rd inning. No, he didn't. I erased that. He tried to bunt in the 3rd inning and knocked it into the ground. It was the catcher, Justin, with a bunt attempt, and was thrown out. This time sends one down the left field line. That should also be foul.
Yep. I got him 1 for 2. Is that what you got him for?
And that's what I have.
Yeah.
I had 2, 3.
So he's making Nicholas throw a few pitches in here to start this inning.
Yeah, Rust is seeing a lot here in his first half, and he ends up letting him wriggle off the hook. Hampson with a walk. The third walk of the ball game, and the first one, Nicholas Rust, in his first bat runs the count full, and then finally allows Hampson the free pass. Although Hampson hung in there. A couple of tough pitches, fouled him off down the left field line, and then was able to earn the walk. A great at-bat, a quality at-bat by Hampson. Now the throw over. And Hampson is back. Avalos at the plate is 1 for 3. Excuse me, he is 0 for 2. Only a walk in there, but has 2 runs scored. Ground out in his last at-bat. Wind picking up just a little bit behind us here in the left center field bleachers.
The left center field press box.
Press box. Press box. It's the only bleacher.
The only
And
press
it happens
box.
to be a 3-chair bleacher. And a beauty. Yeah, we'll be tweeting, if you didn't hear that, tweeting a picture of it later of our elevated press box here. A lot of thought and effort went into this. And expense. Don't go past the expense. Have yet to see the food cart come by though, Ron.
No.
Isn't it peanuts and hot dogs?
Avalos hanging in there. Airs a shot into left field, back
over-
quickly on it, almost over the top of Pitt's head, and he will gather it in for out number 1.
I thought that was going to go over his glove for a minute. He took a step in instead of a step back.
That's the second time I've seen that happen.
Well, he's a big fella.
Yeah. Well, it's a nice green backdrop behind the plate there, so I don't know if that coming in from the green over to the white made a difference to him, but
Foster now for the Timberwolves up to the plate. 1 for 3. Line shot. Right back to Tremaine at third base to his last at-bat.
it was a hard hit ball too.
Very hard. That one is right on the screws. Now looks in at Rust. And the throw over to first base will get Hampson back into the dust. Imagine they like getting into the dust better than they like diving back into the mud.
Yeah, sure they do.
Beautiful day here. Off-speed pitch had Foster way out in front for the strike. Infield at regular depth. Outfield is pinched in quite a bit. And that one way outside.
Keenan Foster hitting the number 2 slot here should be able to make something happen. I'm actually surprised they didn't put the bunt on.
1 out. Avalos with the fly ball is probably why they didn't. And there's a high pitch, and that should be ball 3. 3 balls and a strike to Foster.
Making Nicholas Rust work here pretty hard.
Hampson led the inning off with a walk and a beautiful at-bat. There's a shot. He'll pop it straight in the air. That one about 100 feet in the air. That had snow on it by the time it came down.
Yeah.
And the infield fly rule is in effect, and they
I guess
be out number 2.
He didn't even have to catch that, did he?
Nope.
So if he doesn't catch it, he's out anyway, right?
That is right. The runner is out, and the runner cannot run down to second base. Well, we'd be silly to run down. I guess if he tags, he could. But that's why you don't do it. That's why the infield fly is in effect, so that the guy coming in can't act like he's going to catch it, then just drop it at the last minute and get the double play. There's the throw over to first base.
Right.
Although with a high as that pop-up was, you aren't going to get the runner at first. You may get the lead runner at second in that case.
Yeah.
But that thing had an oxygen tank on it, heading up into the stratosphere. Cheeseman at the plate now. He's your all-everything guy right now. Boy, he is 1 for 2 as far as stolen bases go. Got a successful stolen base in the first inning, caught stealing in the fourth. But a single, a double, and a walk. So we've been on board all 3 times, officially 2 for 2 with 3 RBI. And there's the throw down on a steal attempt, and in there safely is the runner Hampson, another stolen base. And that has to make Alex Cheeseman smile just a little bit. Already with 3 RBI of the 6 runs, the only RBI aside from him came off a sacrifice fly by Alex Keel. And there's a strike call on a rust breaking ball.
Yeah, he could easily get another RBI with a nice hit here.
There are 2 away. The pitch, another strike, got him looking. Down he goes on a rust breaking ball. That time, frozen his tracks was Alex Cheeseman. So no runs, no hits, 1 man left on. Crunch time for the Knights, heading to the top of the 7th inning. They trail by 2 to the Jackson Timberwolves. We'll be back on the STSPN broadcast.
The Eye Care Center of Snohomish on Avenue D is here to help with all your eye care needs. Our professional staff is committed to offering the most sophisticated, high-end, latest technologies to our patients. And the Eye Care Center is a relaxed atmosphere, allows you to browse the over 800 high-end designer frames, including some for the little ones. There's really no reason to go anywhere else. See us online at eyecarecenterofsnohomish.com or call 360-568-6666.
The Knights coming to the plate here in their final frame. They're going to have to get 2 runs pushed across in order to equalize the Jackson Timberwolves 6 runs. 6-4 right now your score. And a Wesco South matchup, the final of 3 here at Jackson High School between the Knights and the Timberwolves. And this is where our lineups get a little screwy, Ron, so I'm going to let you figure out who's at the plate right now. You're the guy with the binoculars, so
That's our pitcher, I think. Turn around.
Could be Rust.
No, it's number 20. That's who I thought it was.
Number
before.
20 is Weber.
Yeah.
And there is out number 1. Weber is retired.
Chandler Wesson. Chandler Wesson with a out. And then this should be number 11. This should be McCarthy. Nathan McCarthy.
Two outs away is Ainsworth, who is still on the mound trying to get the complete game for the Timberwolves.
Looks like he's going to do it so far.
Still throwing hard. There's the curveball in at the feet, knocked off the heel of McCarthy, foul. Of course, complete game in high school, 7 innings. There's a check swing, but he got a little bit of it. Roller now out to Anderson.
Back to the pitcher.
Easy throw. And a good job by Ainsworth to get off the mound there. Just like the pros have been practicing time and time again in spring training. The hit down the easy roller down to the first base side of the diamond means that the pitcher has to cover. You blink for a second, you're going to get beat down that line.
And this number 6, Tyler Heck, is the name I've got for him.
Heck representing the final chance now for the Knights. High. Ball 2.
This is the bottom of the order for the Knights as well, so if they could get around this, they could get a chance to get the top back up here.
There's a strike call.
I could hear that all the way out here with the headset on.
It's the kind of umpire you like to hear. There's no question. Nothing iffy about that call. Here comes the Ainsworth pitch. That one was close.
Oh.
Keel framing for a while there, asking for the call, and it is a ball and 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah.
And the pitch outside. No,
Oh,
they call a strike there, full count.
Yep.
That time didn't even have to frame. Caught the outside part of the plate on the black stripe.
This could be the last
And
pitch
Ainsworth
of the
comes
ball
out
game.
now to see what kind of damage he can do. The payoff pitch on the way. Swing. And that is the ball game. Out and down on strikes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strikeouts is what I've got for Stephen Ainsworth. We'll be back to wrap things up. The final, Jackson 6, Kamiak 4. We'll be back with the thoughts in a moment on STSPN.
That was beautiful. Basically, yeah, it's great.
Are you looking for help selling or buying a new home in the beautiful Snohomish area? I got great news. Look no further than Gilpin Realty. You'll want to make sure you talk to Leela and Ray Cook. They understand. There's somebody you can trust if you're looking for new construction. They know the community. They know the schools. Why? Because they're lifelong Snohomish residents and they have 32 years of real estate experience. So if you're buying, if you're selling, you're looking for a house for your family, there's nowhere else to go than Leela and Ray Cook. Give them a call or check out all their properties right now at gilpinrealty.com.
The final here at Jackson High School, the Timberwolves with the win. 6-4 over the Kamiak Knights. 6 runs on 8 hits. 2 errors and 5 runners left on base for the winning Jackson Timberwolves, the home team. Kamiak, 4 runs on 5 hits. They had 2 errors, left 3. Winning pitcher was Stephen Ainsworth, who went the complete game. 7 innings, actually 6 innings, but still got the complete game. 2 earned runs, 8 strikeouts. Ron, beautiful performance from your starting pitcher tonight.
It was an excellent starting pitcher game. Both pitchers pitched well for both teams tonight, and could have gone either way depending on the way those errors sorted out in the early part of the game there, Keith.
It did, and I think it came down to just kind of gritting out the first couple of innings. The team that was able to put together some comfort both on the mound and at the plate after you take the first 2 innings and kind of throw them aside was going to win this ball game. Jackson settled in very nicely. Got a couple of timely hits. Mainly Alex Cheeseman, I thought, had an outstanding ball game. With an RBI single in the first inning, 2 RBIs and a double in the second. Ended up with 3 RBI on a 2 for 3 afternoon. A stolen base added to that tally. And Cheeseman at the number 3 spot did a lot of damage for the Timberwolves and got them half their total.
They did. So Kamiak will be going into their next game on next Tuesday, a home game against Edmonds Woodway, and Jackson will be back on the 15th away at Mariner for their next game. So Mariner would be a pretty easy game for Jackson because I don't think they've won a game this year yet. So they'll keep on their win streak, I think, at that point. So.
Well, Kamiak looking to put a couple in the win column against Edmonds Woodway. Edmonds Woodway, rarely see them at the bottom of the league standings, but 0-3 on the season in league, and Kamiak certainly has their chance to put up 3 wins there and stay at least in the playoff hunt and try to leapfrog Linwood, who's wedged between them and this Jackson Timberwolf team in the standings. Cascade, of course, is 3-0. They are the team to beat in the West Coast South Division, 7-1 overall. The next STSPN broadcast will be Monday, an Archbishop Murphy versus Cedar Crest softball game, a rare Archbishop Murphy game, a 4 p.m. start on Monday for that contest here on the big broadcast. And then Tuesday back to baseball. It's 3A baseball. Glacier Peak and Meadowdale will meet, a 4 p.m. contest. So 2 back-to-backers, a full slate of activity on STSPN.
They will. And we'll be back for that Glacier Peak game on Tuesday. So if you like fast pitch softball, tune in and watch that Archbishop Murphy game. Those girls really play tough ball. A
lot of fun to watch, and of course always keeping pace with everything that's happening in the Snohomish, Glacier Peak, Jackson, and Archbishop Murphy docket as far as spring sports go here on STSPN. We hope you've enjoyed listening to the broadcast today. Keith Neely and Ron Henthorn. We also like to say a big thanks for the other man in the broadcast over here. Big Todd is making things happen and gladly keeping us online and building our press box for us. That was awful nice of you back here. Our final once again is 6-4 Jackson over Kamiak. We'll say goodnight. So long. Thanks for being a part of our afternoon. We'll see you on Monday.
Thank you.